welcome back to the big conversation. So in recent years, Japa has become a household word in Nigeria, representing the rush to leave the country for greener pastures, be it for education, work, or simply a better life. But while we often celebrate those who succeed in relocating, we rarely talk about the people they leave behind. That's us. Yes. So you know how it goes now. One day your friend or your colleague is here, and then the next you just see their post or their snap, and they're in Canada, live in the UK, and you know there was no goodbye, no explanation, no heads up, nothing. They're just gone. So while we're happy, you know, does it really feel great that they left us behind, or does it stink a little? That is our conversation for today. So my ladies, like I said, I feel like everybody probably has, you know, an experience, because I have one that really does hit home, to be very honest. But I don't know how, you know, it feels when a friend or maybe family member, to be very honest, you know, relocates without telling you first. You just wake up and you see, or maybe they've been there and then they call and then you're like, oh, you know, I'm in the UK, and you're like, when did that happen? Right? So I don't know how that feels, or if you know you've experienced it before, because it cannot be only me. Yes.
Nobody's leaving me behind.
Okay.
Because there was flood in Texas and 23 people.
No, but they left you here. Like they left you in Nigeria.
So they are behind parties. No, it's not me.
Or they left without telling you.
So, but you know, being honest, so some of these things, I have a very close friend who left because he has to go and take care. The family has to go and take care of the child.
Okay.
He's having leukemia, you know, like, you know, white blood cell wasn't, and then there's been donation, you know, but it's the healthcare that is better over there that they are running to go on, because I mean, you can't have access to something, or you know that you can have access to something, and then you're still sitting down here because of.
Why are you talking Osh voice?
Because of the story.
No, I just wanted to point out that it's not always.
Hey, boy, you're pointing out a very Osh voice.
Oh, so sorry. So it just basically sometimes it's for good, the better good. You know, they will also say it's for the children. We get that, but sometimes it's also for health. Like, okay, we can get better health care. What we are getting at UCH, at UPTH, or Lagos Teaching Hospital, you know, that friend of mine actually literally stayed in the hospital for a whole year, going and back. I couldn't believe it when she said it to me. I was like, a whole year. I know how long, when I had something to do with UCH and I spent, was it 2 weeks? You know, a whole year she was going in and coming in, and that's like a lot. That's a trauma. That's like a lot for the family. So, and you know, when you have access to healthcare and you are promised that once you get here, you know, I don't want to mention the States, but in the US, it's better, and you can be able to manage your child better.
But what we're asking you now, this moment, that person that went. You know, were you aware when she was going to go? You just
so we have this thing about Nigerians that we don't. Nigerians normally they just believe that there'll be that's what I wanted to say. That jinx thing, you know, it may not be the person you told, but the fact that you voiced
it is true.
The air captured it.
There's something in the air that just wants to keep you here.
Air, but I mean, it is something. It's not even a village people thing in Africa. Even when both say it too. But if something is not well cooked, don't say it. I mean, if you are big on following on people that talk about manifestation, they say
we
it.
Still have,
be careful.
I've heard not one, not 10 of young people who have gotten their visa was already coming to them, and they had to be hospitalized, they had to be killed, you know, Benin and all of that. You understand?
So now with this, sometimes when people, even before the whole superstition thing comes in, right? For maybe friends or family, say for example, like, you know, my own personal story. Very close friend of mine, Aspa, in school, you cannot see her and not see me, right?
It's painful.
And right after we finished, we're both, you know, pursuing our masters. I had gotten my transcript, everything. She knew I was trying to like get into school. And then, you know, after she also told me that, oh, she's trying to get into school. So all the processes I had done in school, she was asking me, oh, how did you get your transcript? I helped her with the outline. Like, I mean, it's my friend,
she's supposed
right?
to tell you, right?
You know, so I was following, how far? Oh, okay, I've applied to 2 schools. Okay, what did they say? I said, okay, this is how you do application like this. It was a mutual, do you understand? She came to my wedding. You know, I didn't know that was the last time I was going to see her.
Oh my goodness.
And then, You know how WhatsApp we do now? Oh. This number has changed. I can't see +44. I say, what?
Yeah, I get
+44. And then I went to her DM. So I'm like, what's happening? And then she called me and she's like, you know, how long have you been here? Like a month. I'm like, eh? So it was a shocker. It was a shocker. Because I'm like, it's not like I knew you were trying to get into school. We were both aware. I was following up, right? And you just leave. You didn't give me the opportunity to say goodbye. You didn't give me the opportunity to get you a present, to know. It felt, you know, very, yes. So when I eventually voiced to her, she now, you know, came to explain that, oh, you know, her parents said she should not tell anybody.
And it doesn't stop there. Some will get there, they will stop talking to you.
Because of...
Yes.
Because
they are better
talking.
than
you. They are busy. They are doing 3 jobs.
Okay.
They don't have time.
They don't have breathing space over there like we have here.
Wow.
Or help, or communal help and all that. They don't.
As much.
So for me, I always come from a place of, I always lend people grace. That's usually my own approach. I lend people grace because more often than not, I'm not saying that they've not messed up. I'm saying sometimes their reasons might be really valid.
Yeah.
You know, so for me, I don't think I've experienced anyone that pained me because people that were close to me, I knew. And probably prayed with you, helped where I could. Anybody that went and I did not know, the person knows, because me, I'm very big on hierarchy of love and friendship. So your hierarchy is not too high. So it not pay me. You understand? So but those that were high enough, I knew. So I mean that's fine. Or my siblings, we were even very close knit in my house. So we are knowing everything.
Yeah.
But the truth is, regardless, I would also want to say that rather than think the person maybe feel bad, try and put yourself in the person's shoes. If maybe you've done a few times, try to put your hands on things and it didn't work out.
Yeah.
You know, start to pray about something and somebody is advising, you know, this time around, do it this way and let's see. What would you do if it was you too?
If it was you in...
You understand? Yeah, you are really desperate to want to go abroad. You have sold all the property you have in your life, everything. So, you know, you will probably...
You explain 5 years down the line,
problem
you have not spoken to somebody you are very close.
Osara, she took her as a friend.
No, but I took her. She was my friend.
Did she take you? Was maybe 30%. That's why.
Maybe
no, I wouldn't say, because just like she said.
But you heard what I said. Her mom's her parents said.
Because the truth is, I was very pained, right? Even when I spoke to her, I couldn't express my pain then. Then later,
she wasn't emotional. Your friend wasn't emotionally intelligent enough
to know how best to relate.
Exactly. So if I were wait, that one is another angle. So if I were your friend. Right? It's true our parents could have sat her down. Yeah. I know everything, our own life, this is what happened. That's why we're not where we so you be quiet. So
don't tell anybody.
So the emotional intelligence, so she didn't have enough emotional intelligence. So for me, if I know my friend, you know, we lie to ourselves, but we know our people. Deep down, where people you don't question.
Her emotional intelligence is supposed to be running over before she has sense.
No. Emotional intelligence means that even if your father says this, they don't know the extent of that friendship. So you are the one that will know that I hear you, dad, I hear you, mom. You're the one that will know how you go sit your friend down. Now you might not tell her in the beginning, but you might, even if it's at some point, you sit down. Babe, this and this and this.
I just landed. It looks like it's falling
not landed, through. No, before she goes, landed. Wow.
Like it looks like it's falling through.
It's coming,
and then soon go.
I'll soon go, but
I might not
know, but I'm not sure. But at least I'll give her a hint.
It gives heads
That's
up.
the emotional intelligence that she did not apply.
No, apart from that, people like that from childhood, they've been told don't
be secretive. Exactly.
I used to have a friend like that.
Yes.
Everything is shrouded in secrecy. Somebody's always after them.
Like their environment.
Like that. That's how.
Okay, like for example, why I'm laughing this much is the irony is that's the story of my life. So me and my husband were very opposite in that area.
Wow. Me are not opposite. The marriage for don't start.
Me, I'm a social butterfly. You know, I'm very open-minded, very free-spirited, which that burns me several times. So sometimes I think wickedness is good. My sister, wickedness is okay. Sometimes
something on my side.
You know, so that I'm just saying. I think we need to learn. I think we should. Each personality should learn from the other. Yeah. There are times when it's okay to be, and there are times when you don't, maybe you should go. But my husband on the other hand doesn't say anything. As in, he will keep. No, I mean, no, I'm not saying that anything. It doesn't include me. Even though one or two did include me, and I was like, bro. And it's like, oh, the person said. I'm like, I don't understand. How does that concern me? You can concern other people, but you know. So he's that. So some people are like that. Because of where they are, where their community, where their upbringing is coming from. They are used to
just keeping
it, and it's safe. And to be honest, I think that has more advantages.
It
than
has.
disadvantages.
But now, even
we where the free spirit, trust everybody. Now that one that's
one
that one the bomb. I'm sure you know that one the bomb.
But now,
I think so.
in maintaining the friendship, say for example you're really close, so even if it's not even friendships, you know, family, right? Sometimes when you're growing up, you're very close with your cousins, and it happened to me as well. I mean, everywhere we lived, they were in the same estate. When we were in Surulere, they were in Surulere too. When we were in Lekki, they were in Lekki too. It's a stone throw, right? We pretty much grew up together. And then when after secondary school, they all, you know, went to the UK, you know, to do school, and there was just that. It's not like we didn't know, but we really did feel like we were left behind, right? Because how do you now even maintain that level of friendship when there is time difference, when they are also occupied with school on their end, or their new friends, or their new responsibilities?
I don't know what kind of friends I keep, because I'm really curious. How do somebody who makes your clothes for the longest time leave the country, and up till today, not even a text message?
Have you?
Yes.
Have you?
Like, has she messaged the person?
Look, have you?
Has she messaged the person?
Why are you like this?
I'm like this because I know me. I'll tell you the truth. Have you? So if you feel, so that's what I tell people. Lend people grace. She might be finished up that way that maybe she has left it long. Now she doesn't know how to approach. Have you made that move?
I she has messaged her now.
I'll be speaking to the husband. The husband will talk to me for long
How
time.
do you know that the husband to knows
But
her stand?
no.
And he just said, have you messaged your friend, your own friend? I'm asking you a simple question.
Is it
Now English I dey ask you.
She said, Taylor/friend.
Yes, Taylor/friend.
For her to
Yes.
be talking to the husband, that means they're friends too now.
Yes.
If I
My
were you,
sister.
I would even reduce the talking to the
Yes, especially if you're not talking to her.
Have you seen that when he sees some of the things I'm doing?
Have you
It's like she's so. Don't even ask her. She has not spoken.
I mean,
What conversation do I want to start with her?
you can start and say, we had a friend and I actually miss you.
Oh,
What
really?
happened?
Did I miss you?
You need to.
I'm not sure I did.
You see, a lot of us struggle with pride and ego. And we refuse to be vulnerable.
You know what? Let's go on a quick
We
break.
refuse to be
Let's go on a
vulnerable.
quick break.
Like,
So we can.
message her first. If she not come and answer you, then we're going to say, okay. Oh. Do you understand?
We'll go on a quick break. We hold it here. Let's hold it. We're going to go on a quick break, right? So when we get back, we'll still continue this conversation because it is still a very heated one. Don't go anywhere. It's still a very heated conversation here on this table with these ladies because I think the conversation today is it's evoking, right? It's evoking a lot of emotions. But now let's bring it to career and workplace, right? You know, we see people who are working, you know, with you. Either you are their employer or, you know, they're your fellow colleague. And then, you know, suddenly they just don't, you know, show up at work again. They don't give any notice. In fact, HR people are now complaining. In fact, my sister had mentioned, because she works in HR as well, that when they are recruiting, they mention that, please, do you have any plans to leave soon? Because I mean, if you're a business owner, it's not the
funny.
sometimes they want you to prosper and flourish, yes, but it's not the best, business decision. They would rather not take you if you have plans, right? But when it now happens, right, how do you feel? What would you do as an employer, or when your own colleague now just suddenly ups and leaves, especially if that person is valuable, because that's when it's to pay you even the most. How do you now move from there, to be very honest?
You feel used. There's no doubt about that.
That you were used as what they call like waiting
no.
in the
It's an emotional barrage. There's a lot of give and take which is expected. Then all of a sudden that's no longer available, or you are now you've actually wasted your reserve. Because Nigeria now, you need a lot of emotional
well, I mean, but people leave every time, even without Japa.
Yeah.
They might find a better job. So I think as employers, we need to also prepare for those kind of things.
Right.
And when you ask those questions and then you don't really get straight answers, then you take the person. So you save yourself the stress of training up. Because the truth is not only Japa that makes people leave. If you're offering to this person 200K,
better pay.
And maybe at the same time the person was applying to your place, the person had also done other applications. And one of those other ones comes on and they're offering that double, they will leave. So it's not only really about Japa. So the truth is, we should also protect ourselves around, like build policies around, and then it depends on the person's role. Like where my own small business now, if the person is in the front end, it's easy for me to replace them because your training in the front end is more. I'm more ticked with the back end guys. Those are guys that carry the weight of the weight. So it depends. So if it's front end, fine. I mean, I will all struggle for a while, but we'll get somebody else train you 2 weeks. You're fine. But it's the back end that could pay me pass, or person who don't deal with me since where I don't train.
Right.
That's one. So I mean, either way, whether Japa or not, I think as businesses or whatever, we really need to also have that. As again, move with the times. But times that people will stay in one office for 25 years. That doesn't happen anymore now. People are looking for
it's where favors them, to be honest.
Exactly. And people now are very money conscious and materialistic. So even me, my sister, if someone tell me now, say you have business, but I'm offering you, I'm going to give you.
You will leave your business.
$1 million every month. No, you won't leave your business. Who wants banjo, take and I'll go. But what I'm just trying to say is that I mean, I will probably not leave it. I'll try and run it, but the truth is, we're always looking for better opportunities.
Now should training the trainers and then juggle people around different departments.
So they get like an experience.
Anything can happen. They said they should start preparing that anybody can Japa. It might not be outside the country. Like today you are here, tomorrow Ronnie is here. The other day they can say when Mimo sit here. She might not be so good with it, but with time
she will learn.
And then somebody at the front office take her around, No, it might go a long way, so that when that shock comes, you can you
can buffer it.
So for workplaces or for organizations, there are people who I know who have had practices like eye clinic, dental, and so when I notice that this person is about to leave, I'll just tell you, please don't close your eye clinic. Put CCTV camera, keep the people. Yes, not while. Just make sure that some people are eating from this business, because some people cannot afford to Japa. But at least if you put them in some kind of active service, they will survive the economy, which can lead to depression. So I have friends who still have their eye clinic, dental clinic, and things like that. So and it's still so I tell them, if I have at least I've had an eye clinic, and then the dent is still existing and they're still functioning. And even when you come back, you are able to
have something.
You don't even need any money to come.
That's when you build the place by training people around. Anybody can, when you are not around,
but some people just close up business and say, hey, God has blessed me finally.
When your personality is built around that business, you cannot go and it will crash. And then the people, what about the trust?
That's wrong way of
recently, my daughter was hospitalized. That's the same hospital she was born 27 years ago. All the doctors, they are like, I'm looking at, do they know what they are doing? Because they are so young. Most of them have jackpads. Unfortunately, the owner of the hospital has died, but the son is there and everything. But thank God for technology. Now you can compare notes with somebody abroad. This is the X-ray I have, blah, blah, blah. But I was just looking at them like, what this one know anything, so
So that's
just
where
like
the-
seeing young soldiers.
So that's
What
why
do
the
they
issue
really
of
know?
business continuity is very important
Right,
for
right.
Africa because we need to build economies
Right.
in
Just diving right into YouTube, because like I just opened and I saw plenty comments. So Titi says, with how friends have dealt with me on this, I'll never say to anyone if I want to Japa. So it feels like she has like a truckload of
Vendetta.
experiences.
See now?
So if you didn't tell me, I'm not gonna tell you. I will just leave one day. And then
Yeah,
Ronke
I'm
says, someone literally broke my heart over this Japa
Okay,
thing.
now.
She was living in my house and all the time processing her application in my home.
Oh, that's wicked.
She said she wanted to visit family, and next
didn't come
day,
back.
America. And when you burn bridges because you're traveling, you forget that you might need those people. Someone who japaed without telling me, now asking for help years later. Because another thing is, even when you want to leave, make sure you leave on good terms. Because you don't know when and how you would need that person, especially if you played a role in their
people in
lives.
my house and then they leave and we don't hear from them. So it's
My own experience is
let's leave
different.
this thing, oh.
Normally, like what Ebun said, if you didn't tell me that you were traveling, I like forgiving people in advance, hoping that you will do
You people
something
are very
wrong.
gracious.
Yeah.
Very
This
gracious.
particular day,
Doesn't mean
this
that
person-
we don't have wickedness now.
this
but
person
the
would
way we
have-
activate it.
this one would have touched me.
Right.
It was not. He didn't tell me, but I was in my kitchen doing something. I just said something. Say, send this guy 10,000 naira. I'm like, I cannot insult him. This big man, I can't do it. It's as if I heard the voice. The guy now called him. I said, please, I'm sorry. Oh, this is what I'm hearing. I don't know. He said, told you. It's 10,000 naira we are looking. That was when he now told me that the process they are doing, they just needed 10K, and
To
he had
add to
called
it.
people. He said, but I'm not telling anybody.
10,000 naira, $10,000.
10,000 naira.
Naira.
They done most of the thing. They just needed say me and my wife, we just they look silly here. I said,
they've
I
sold
thought
everything.
I would be. He said, we've sold everything. We are about to. Say, I'm not going to tell anybody. I say, it's your cup of tea, even if you are not told me. You know.
Maybe
you
it's
don't
our
tell.
lawyer training that made us like this. Because you know maybe so
Maybe
we
because
need to
the
hear
grace-
the fact
the grace
Yes.
of so maybe
yes.
because you hear people's reasons
I
and excuses. Maybe
think the manner in which it affects you depends on
Who
how
it
you
is.
who
Who
the
it
person
is
is
to
and how you
you.
actually carry that
That's
person.
really honestly
Right? Imagine now, Ebu, this in her mind now, she has planned that this is her last show. And tomorrow she just leaves, and tomorrow she's supposed to be on the table.
Well, that's
right?
policy.
There will be
That's
some
not
form
so-
of hurt.
of course that's
right.
but that's even rude.
That's the one.
At
At
least
least worst
tell
case, I
you
should
know
tell
Ronnie,
GM,
right?
Ronnie and say, "Ah,
You
babe,
mention just even if you don't want to tell, because it feels like a lot of people are like, okay, I don't want to tell them the details, but just say, oh, I may not be around for a while. I may not be able to disclose.
Give a soft landing, then
I may not be able to disclose now, but you know, in due time, you know, that way
That's where the emotional
prepares.
intelligence comes
That's
in.
what I'm
Precisely.
saying.
Precisely.
Emotional
Not
and then for
everybody
me, it's not
has
even only
it.
about this Japa. Look, I've had experiences of where I went all out. That's my MO. I would, if you are in my corner, people know I would.
When were
I'm
you
that
born?
friend.
When were you born?
When
Month.
March. I'm Pisces. So
Okay.
we are. That's our.
That's-
we are.
It's part of your
It's part of
characteristics.
our hair.
That's okay.
So and then I'm now the first kid. So I'm used to being mommy for people. So I mean I'm okay with
Right.
the burden God has put on my shoulders. Fine. But the truth is, I'm just trying to let you know that it's not only about Japa. I've had experiences where I went all out for people, and maybe there's just a misunderstanding or a mistake, and then they go harm on the reverse, and you're wondering, what just happened?
From
So-
way to way.
so you understand? So in my mind, I'm just thinking, well, people will always be people,
Right.
and I've learned to tell myself that people project their own insecurities. So like that person said,
Yeah.
because so if that one now doesn't tell somebody, it's because they have done it to her, and she has chosen to do the same to pay it forward. Maybe
Negative pain.
That is
so
not-
people
it's
are
not
always
even-
people
My
are
own
much.
experience, in as much as I say I'll forgive you in advance, something happened. We are like 3 friends. One was not yet married at the time. So the younger friend, she's like a Gen Z, but she's my friend. About to get married. We now heard it from. I say, even if you didn't tell me, you should have told this other
The other
person.
lady.
You know, this sensitive for her.
Yeah.
It's like you not having a baby, and then your sister again. She has just been married. You've been married for 10 years. What's the best thing
God
for you
just
to do is to
run
go
out.
and meet her and say,
Quadruplets.
see you,
This
because it's mixed feelings for her. So I was really angry that what are you
what are you
keeping?
covering? What are you
keeping? Is
hiding?
it not this married? At least tell this other person.
Okay, but how old is the lady?
She was almost 30.
See, people like again, I think what people need.
Then the other lady is like almost in her 40s.
Yeah, what people need is emotional intelligence. I've started teaching my kids that because I found out that
go and understand.
yes, because once you are able to read the room,
it will help you.
It will help you in the kind of decisions you like. God knows, maybe that one that's almost 30, maybe they have counseled that.
You know, your
aunties. You know, you are marrying almost late. Don't tell them. No,
there's one
aspect of this
husband they
which is the fact that we trivialize relationships so much.
Yes.
But there's something we need to understand. There are some things. There's a thin line. But when you cross that line, why do I say that? You feel that what decisions you just made cannot affect where you are going to.
Of course, it will.
But I just pray that you don't make such decisions whereby when you get there, your sin is thrown right in front of you, and it bounces back or you are thrown back. Then you now you have to go and rely on these people who you have literally thrown out away.
Right. So now, because we have just like 2 minutes left, in situations where people who have japad, right, and especially if it was a hurtful japad situation, and they come back, is there room to rebuild that? Relationship or that connection when they get back?
I've said my own.
Like if your tailor friend, if she comes back.
My own is this. You may not meet me here. Maybe you'll meet me in an airport somewhere in the world. I'll be going straight because I'll be missing my flight if I stop.
Wow. If your tailor friend that you mentioned, if she comes back now and she approaches you to probably like mend.
I don't even want her to meet me.
Or you're not interested.
The point is that I'm working on myself so that you don't even meet me here.
Okay, so please, can I quickly say something?
Please go ahead.
So aside this whole Japa thing, I think generally, like I said, you need to learn to give people grace. So I had this is not even about Japa. I had an experience in December when my sister was getting married. A lot of people were upset about the fact that I couldn't tell them. But again, that's what I'm trying to tell you. If I had my way, I've told them social butterfly, everybody will come for my sister's wedding. But it's not my wedding. She had her rule. No, you Gen Zs. I only want
50 people.
Did I get angry with her?
I only want 350 people. Yeah, if not my own thing now. So but a lot of people took it personal. And then unfortunately that day was the day that Tinubu was in Lagos and everyone was scattered.
Yeah.
So even the people that could even come, that I now even was able to invite later, after I begged that at least a couple of people come for after party. They ended up coming. And I remember that there was this set of friends that came. And I don't know why they were upset. I know I went to hospital to go and get food for them because they came in really late. Of course, everybody was stressed from the traffic. And I came back and I met empty tables. And I asked them, I was like, where did you and I called them. They didn't pick up the phone. Only for them to hear later that they were upset. I was like, please, what did I do? I called the three of them, sent them a message, no response. So that's the thing. Even though I let people grace, I'm not a fool. I had reached out. And you did not. So I'm not a baby too. You're not feeding me over.
You wanted her to invite all the whole world.
So now I'm not sure what the problem was, but me, I just say I learned them with. If maybe I just ignored them.
There's been no conversation.
So I reached out to them and there was no message. I left them because we're all adults and
I would deliver an amazing wedding. That's what's important.
And then they forget that it's not like I was just I was also a planner. So I was not just taking care of my guests, I was taking care of everybody. And if all of that you cannot see beyond that and you're still you have a chip on your shoulder, I can't help you. But again, where I'm going to is somebody reached out on behalf of one of them. Oh, I know she likes your brand and all that. Please, I want to buy something for her. If I had this Chisholm's vendetta, I'll not say sorry.
I'm not
sorry. No. I won't even say that. I'll not see that message and I'll just ignore it because I don't want to really have to talk to them.
No.
But guess what did I do?
You responded.
I might miss my flight. I might do something by remembering old things
I
that are passed away.
Because again, that was 7 months ago. Maybe the person has common sense now. I said, oh hi, I got this message. The person said, I'm sure the person would have been like, okay, because and I went straight to business. Okay, what do you think we should do? Okay, no problem. Okay, I'll tell you, and I moved on. That's how I manage.
See, I'm better.
No drama.
For you leaving me.
We're going to have to hold this. Please, Fana, I think she really needs it. We need to take our life hacks real quick, and then when we get back, we get to now agree or disagree and defend our answer. So don't go anywhere. Let's see our life hacks. All right, well, we're back on the big conversation. Trust me, you should see what's happening, you know, behind the scenes. But it's time for agree or disagree. We're told we have only 1 minute, so we cannot defend too much. You just agree, disagree, one sentence, and we move. Shet gets. This is our question. People who Japa suddenly owe their friends an explanation. Do you agree or disagree? Eh? Do I agree or disagree? People who Japa without telling their friends owe their friends an explanation.
If it was family, that's one I'll be.
That's why I also don't have anything to tell you when I see you at the airport.
You're still hurt.
I insist on
You're still hurt.
So you disagree? Well, I mean, given I'm the only one that agrees, I would say, I mean, I feel if we're friends, because I also don't call anybody my friend. So I believe if we're friends,
okay, you're right, too.
Right?
Please, I changed my answer.
I believe if we're friends, right, to some extent,
Let me change it.
it's not allowed. It's not allowed. Also because
This woman has not done anything.
because she said she disagrees, she will defend her answer because she still needs to talk. Because I feel we would understand each other, and even if you probably might not want to give the details, I would also understand that and give you the grace. Okay, I know you're going. I know you may not be able to tell me all the details, but I wish you well, to be very honest. I will only disagree now. These people that have changed their answer now. So they don't owe any explanation.
I want to disagree. I've said it before that friendship is, I want to apportion it by percentage. You might be thinking that the person is your friend, and the person is not taking you as
like
a
that,
friend. So on that basis, I will be disagreeing. Your love for the person might be, I mean, 60%. Maybe the person has 5%, and you're doing humoring for you behind your back. And in your mind, you know, so that some people, they fall in love easily. That's why I don't have much friends. I can tell you that, my husband has kidney problem, or he has this impotent, because I feel that you are my friend. I fall in love easily. So
are you matched to, man?
No, beginning
almost
of April.
Yeah. So we're almost in the same. We're like that.
So now I'm careful. I don't allow people into my circle easily, because once I bring you in, that's it. I'm opening my door. Yeah.
Barrister, I'm in that learning phase too. Which
Are you agree? You are disagreeing.
Okay, so
this is not allowed.
Initially, I disagreed, but I agree. But the truth is, when you say friends, because of what you said, it's true. It's not everybody that is your friend. So that's why I tell people, once you have categories in your lives, then you can apportion your expectations to each. But if he's my friend, so because you said friend, that's why I say I disagree. They will keep, because my bestie is not my friend, she's my sister. Do you understand? My best friend is there, so she's the only one, and maybe a few closer ones that it will pay me. Every other one, I mean, you have your reasons. I respect your reasons. It's okay,
right?
So, did I agree before?
You agree, then you disagree, and now you're doing like pick a side.
So why I say I agree? Because I said I disagree before. Because I would say that I have vendetta. I don't know, but I'm agreeing now. I'm agreeing now because I deserve to know, because I've housed you, I've fed you, and I've cried with you sometimes. And we've tried to pull through a very bad economy. So why is it now that you feel
sending a message to somebody in particular?
Why is it that you now feel like you've just won, lottery, or you're better than all of us? Now you just want to leave? 5 years, 3 years? Oh, really?
Well, I mean, I think
hello, catch yourself.
That's just sharing her thoughts. But I think, just like we've established, a lot of people handle things differently. A lot of people need to understand and know how to practice emotional intelligence more. And of course, Ebon, Grace, and but I told you Grace, I've told us that we should extend grace to people as well. So let's see what and forgive in advance, right? So let's see what our wise words on the web is for today. All right, Toju, can you read it for us, please?
You must learn to see people as they are, not as you wish them to be. Robert Greene.
Preach it.
I think that one hits deep.
And that's what you said.
Yeah.
You understand?
I'm in sync.
Yeah, like learn to see. Don't know what I've followed in your head about
Right. Well, that's a wrap on today's conversation. Japa is a big dream for many, but as we've seen, it also leaves gaps in our relationships and workplaces, and of course in our hearts. But just again, we're also learning to extend grace to people as well. So to everyone out there, whether you're leaving or staying, Remember, life is a journey and we all need each other to keep moving forward. I am Sarah Nomasaba. Thank you so much for hanging out with us today on The Big Conversation. It's been an interesting one. Join us again tomorrow on The Big Conversation. Bye.
She's so